Imagine a world where the Pacific was not a barrier but a bridge, where the rising sun didn't just touch the peaks of Fuji, but the rugged cliffs of the California coast for eternity. Before the Mayflower ever touched Plymouth Rock, the sails of the Shogunate appeared on the horizon of the New World. This is the story of the Shogun's Union, a Japanese America built on honor. In our timeline, Japan turned inward. But in 1600, Tokugawa Ieyasu looks east. He commissions a fleet of massive iron-reinforced ships, designed not for coastal defense but for deep ocean conquest and global dominance. The Black Ships of the East are born. Guided by the Kuroshio Current, these pioneers bypass the treacherous Central Pacific, hugging the northern arc where the sea meets the sky in frozen silent majesty. They find land in 1612, not a barren wasteland but a kingdom of fur and timber. The shogunate realizes this is the ultimate strategic depth, a new Japan ripe for a new and glorious destiny. This settlement, named Shin-Edo, becomes the heartbeat of the Union. Here, the rigid structures of the shogunate meet the raw, untamed power of the American wilderness, changing the course of both nations forever. As the colonists push south, they encounter the indigenous peoples of the coast. Unlike the total war of European conquest, the shogun seeks a vassal system, offering protection for tribute and mutual respect. A unique syncretism emerges. The Shogun's Union is not just a colony. It is a blend of Shinto spirituality and the deep ancestral wisdom of the Pacific Northwest tribes, forging a new cultural identity. By 1640, the shogunate establishes the Western Wall, a series of mountain fortresses designed to keep out the Spanish Nanban, who are slowly creeping up from the southern deserts, seeking to claim the gold. The first conflict occurs in the Central Valley. Spanish conquistadors, expecting primitive resistance, are met by disciplined ranks of Ashigaru musketeers and the terrifying, unstoppable charge of the legendary mounted samurai of the West. Stop and look at this map. By 1700, North America is a three-way powder keg. The Shogun's Union controls everything west of the Rockies. The world's balance of power has shifted toward the east. The Pacific is now a Japanese lake. Silver from the Andes, gold from California, and fur from the north all flow toward Edo, making it the wealthiest city on earth and the world's bank. The Union thrives on the three pillars: silk, steel, and spirit. Zen Buddhism spreads among the frontiersmen, creating a culture of disciplined warriors and philosophical farmers across the vast and golden American plains. These lords become the Kansai daimyo. They rule over vast territories, using the buffalo not just for food, but as a symbolic beast of the new American-Japanese heraldry, representing strength, endurance, and ancient power. But the Rockies are a barrier. To the east, the British and French are consolidating. The inevitable clash of civilizations is brewing as the frontier of two suns begins to narrow, and the tension rises. The first skirmishes break out in 1750. This isn't just a border dispute, it's a war for the soul of a continent. Will the future be written in the English tongue or the Japanese? The Anglo-Japanese War of 1755 changes history. The British find that their naval superiority is challenged by the shogun's massive, iron-plated fleets guarding the Californian bays with heavy cannons and disciplined, fearless sailors. On land, the samurai adapt. They develop horse-zen tactics, lightning-fast raids that vanish into the mountains before the slow-moving European columns can even fix their bayonets or prepare their lines for a proper defense. The war ends in a stalemate. The Treaty of St. Louis establishes the Mississippi River as the permanent border. The continent is forever divided between the European East and the new Japanese-influenced American West. This great torii becomes the symbol of the Shogun's Union. It marks the edge of the known world for the Europeans, and the gateway to the sacred lands for the Japanese settlers and warriors. As the 1800s arrive, the Union undergoes its own Meiji restoration, but early. The resources of the American West accelerate Japanese industrialization by a century, creating a technological powerhouse in the heart of the wilderness. The Iron Dragon connects Shin-Edo to the Mississippi. The Shogun's Union becomes the most technologically advanced nation on Earth, blending ancient tradition with cutting-edge steam power and massive, coal-fired industrial centers of production. They don't just build machines, they build karakuri, semi-automated tools that revolutionize mining in the Rockies and agriculture in the Central Valley, making the Union the most efficient economy the world has ever seen. San Francisco becomes the pearl of the Pacific, It is a city of millions, where the finest silks from Kyoto are traded for the newest inventions of the American-Japanese engineers in a bustling market. History is a series of what-ifs. If you're enjoying this journey into the Shogun's Union, hit that subscribe button. Join us as we continue to rewrite the past and reimagine our collective future. In this timeline, the 20th century belongs to the Union. World War I never happens as we know it. Instead, a global concert of powers emerges, led by the Shogun and the British King. Cultural exchange is total. Jazz music is played on the shamisen. Baseball is played with the discipline of kendo. The American dream is defined by honor, family legacy, and the pursuit of spiritual perfection. The Union leads the way to the stars. By 1950, the first person on the moon isn't an American or a Soviet, but a citizen of the Shogun's Union, planting a banner of the sun. The environment is protected with religious fervor. The Union views the American wilderness as a series of Shinto shrines, leading to a world where technology and nature exist in perfect and harmonious balance. We often think of history as inevitable, but it was built on choices, currents, and the wind. The Shogun's Union reminds us that the world could have been vastly different than we imagine. A world where the West was won by the East. A world where the samurai never died, but simply traded their swords for the stars and their horses for the infinite reach of technology. What if? That is the most powerful question in history. Thank you for watching the Shogun's Union. We'll see you in the next timeline as we explore more paths that were never taken.